The fate is disturbing.
Believe it. Okay.
What's going on, geeks? You're listening to episode 360 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Shelley Nolan.
Hello.
And LJ Lowry.
Yo.
This week, we're geeking out about Gamescom and Disney getting their Force Awakened. Which doesn't make sense now, but it will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. What games have you guys been playing? Let's start with you, LJ.
Yeah, I've been playing something new and something old, I guess. I've been playing Armored Core, which is the newest top release.
That's out.
Via From Software, who was known for they made Armored Core before they did all the Souls games. But this is Armored Core 6, and there's definitely things in there you're like, yeah, that's very FromSoft. Like, you know, there's just certain things they do. You're like, yep, that's on brand. But it is a really fun game. It's probably the most accessible in the series. This is one of those games where me and my brother would talk about, like, ooh, what if they ever did make a new Armored Core? How Soulsy would they make it and stuff like that? And so when this got announced, like, months ago, I was like, oh, yes. I texted my brother right away. I'm like, hey, this is a new one coming out. And so that's what we did Friday night. We both played and just chatted. It does have PvE or PvP, and like you can do like a 1v1 thing as well if you want. But it's fun. You basically get to, it's the dream of customizing your mech, you know, basically
So cool.
how light or heavy you want it, what weapons you want to use. You can do paint jobs. People are already making like Evangelion and Gundam and stuff. It's been getting wild. CJ has already been modded into the game as a core, as an AC, which is like modding community. Like, I'm surprised they haven't made Thomas the train engine yet. They could do that with some bosses though. There are massive. The scale is really massive. There are some super fun boss fights. One boss fight I did was I took down this giant like walking like transport thing like by myself, and it was legit. It was just made me feel like such a dang like beast just doing it. You almost feel like the bad guy in some ways. There's another mission where you're taking on this like tester mech, and like you hear them like they're trying to be the hero. They're like, oh my gosh, like I've been waiting for this moment, you know. And you just sit and you just like, it's like one of the first cores you fight. And you just sit there and like just destroy the thing, and it's like, ooh, like am I the bad guy here? Like the dude, yeah, it's like, dang, super fun though. My mech is I nicknamed it Law Dog, and I gave it like a red, white, and blue color scheme, and made it kind of look like a police like car in some ways. That's just kind of, I had one also that I kind of had inspired by my paladin colors, like red and blue thing. You can make light mechs where like they can move faster, jump further. I had one that I made with like dual pistols, which I realized was probably not the greatest setup, but that's the beauty of it. You can change your setup based on what kind of mission you're taking on, and you can retry missions. The checkpoint system is fairly generous for it being a FromSoft game. You don't have to restart the mission every time unless it's like a shorter mission. Mm-hmm. They encourage you to replay missions and stuff like that too to get more money, you know, to buy parts and do stuff with your mech. It's super fun. It's super addictive. So I really recommend checking it out. Surprised, like not that I'm surprised to say that, but it's a FromSoft game, and I know that they can be intimidating, but Armored Core is a really good game. And we have a lot of amazing games that are coming out this fall, and it's wild. This is one of many. The other game is going to bring back some memories for some people, but me and my buddy were playing Broforce again this weekend.
Yeah.
We were
good.
We were trying to play No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky was giving us some issues. I don't know if it was the new update or whatever, but that's a game we usually play to just chit chat. But we played some Broforce again, and that game is just such a game. It's fun. It's silly. It's full of toxic masculinity and like action movie parodies. It's just like, yep, this is great. And accidentally destroying yourself or blowing yourself up is like half the fun of the game. They did have a new update. I think it's called Broforce Forever, where there is new bros. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet where we've seen the new ones, because we literally like restarted it on Game Pass. That game's a fun time. I think I literally bought it on Switch one time when it was like $2. I'm like, oh, I love this game. Like, I know this is one of those go-to games where it's like, if I don't really know what to play, like, this is super easy to pick up. So, it was just fun to relive an old game. Yeah, go back to your old games. Play some stuff in your backlog. This is me preaching the good word of backlog golf. I guess.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, it's been fun. I've played a lot more other things, but those two are just like the highlights for me. So, what have y'all been playing?
Sweet. Well, Shelly, you hadn't played anything this week.
No, I was helping out with a wedding this last weekend, so I really didn't do much.
Oh.
I did very little.
All good.
Yeah.
I did say last podcast that I would play Super Snail, thinking that it was less of a mobile game than it is. It is very,
It's a very mobile game.
mobile-y.
got.
Yes.
The microtransactions?
They're definitely microtransactions.
Oh my gosh. For what?
It literally... I've spent, I think, $2 now, because... A thing. I'll explain. But, Tia was like, you're really going to spend $1? And I was like, I mean, it's a $15 value, because they get you. And then I was like, and it made me laugh. And they made me laugh enough to make... I was like, that's worth $1. Like, they definitely entertained me enough to pay $1. So it starts... I don't know, the game's just a lot. If you have ADHD, it'll either be really fun for you or a nightmare.
Oh, no.
It's one of those games where there's exclamation points everywhere and you want to click on them to make them go away.
Oh.
But as soon as you, like, get them all done, you'll get something else that
And
you'll
they'll
hit.
pop back up again.
And it'll give you... there are so many different, like, resources, I guess is the best way to put it, to, like, do different things. You can level up, you can, like, strengthen, you get relics that'll give you buffs. Then you have different, like, DNA things that you're trying to do. And so they have all these different things kind of, like, coming together to try to make yourself stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You are fighting... I don't remember how many of them there are. A bunch of demon gods by going through the city. You go at a snail pace. So literally, if you wanted to watch it, it would take 6 hours for you to go from one spot to, like, or 14 hours, I think is one of them, from one spot to the next. Or you can speed it up by using things that you get playing, or you could buy them, or you can earn them slowly. But what's nice about that is you can kind of turn it on, you can walk away from it, you come back and you check on it, and he's like literally traveled the 6 hours to different locations.
Oh, so it's kind of like an idle game? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then you...
Yeah.
That was really funny, because I didn't understand that at first, because I had so many speed-ups from just starting the game and doing everything. There's also codes you can put in right now. If you kind of go... You can Google them and find them. And those will give you a bunch of stuff. And it's just basically like beginning game codes, because it's a brand new game and they're celebrating that. But yeah, it's an idle game, and you fight other things by just clicking and it fights them, and you're working up the ranks to go fight these demon gods. I have a feeling that the person you're working for, or deity thing that you're working for, is a bad guy. Getting that vibe already, but I don't know how to explain how wonky, like, the game is so funny. It starts off really ridiculous. I have a vending machine that's a robot, and
cool.
Without any explanation, it disappeared, and it was getting new stuff. But it didn't have to get new stuff. Like, I think it was just doing that, like, because, like, the game, like, I don't think it needed to refresh its items. I think it just decided story-wise it was going to do that. And he comes back holding a cat, and they don't explain the cat at all. And, like, right now, he went away again, and he came back with a cat that's bigger than him, than the vending machine. Like, you can't see the vending machine anymore. You just see its arms. And there's zero explanation for what's going on. Like, it's just happening.
That's funny.
There's so much to this game. My favorite part of it is you have a computer, and what does every computer come with? Solitaire.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You can literally play solitaire on the computer.
Cool.
As well as 2048.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then there's like a Civ thing that I don't totally understand yet, and then a version of Tetris that I like more than Tetris because it's vertical as well as horizontal. You get the blocks and then you fill them out, and then nothing's falling. You just go through and like
weird.
Try to fill them out. Yeah. And then I apparently can get more games later on, but it's like all these games within a game. That's such a weird. This whole game is
crazy.
super weird. Yeah. So I'm enjoying it, but it is a time sink. I'm constantly having to come in, and then you will, like I said, you'll get everything filled out, get all the exclamation points away, and then everything will fill back out, and you got to do it again. And then you're finally done for a little bit, and you can wait until your snail has traveled across the city to get to the other villains. You get a family, and the family, you basically, like, I mean, it's like the wife, I guess, or girlfriend. It's a girlfriend. She comes with her children. She does DNA research for you, and then all the other kids basically do, like, child labor around the encampment that you're at. Like, it's just odd. The whole game is super. And there's a club. There's a guild for no reason. So you have a whole guild, and you get this guild, and then we got the guild to a certain point, so now there's a portal, and the portal is being guarded by cats, and so we have to all collectively fight the cats, and like dwindle their HP down, and to unlock this, like fully unlock this portal because it's being guarded right now and we can't get access to it.
It's so random.
Yeah, random is the name of this game.
I forgot you were talking about Super Snail for a sec. I'm like, wait. Oh, he's still talking about Super
like,
Snail.
what is this? Yes. You can become a zombie snail or like a demon snail. Apparently there's a dragon snail in there. I don't know. But it's bonkers. And that's where I'll leave that.
It sounds fun.
Like I said, it's very ADHD. There's so much happening all the time.
That's great.
Yeah. The other game that I've been playing is Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking on PlayStation for like the PS Plus free games. I hadn't looked at that in a while. And it came up that like I, for that month, just needed to pay like $1 more. Which is cool that Sony does that. So I didn't have to upgrade, like go to full price.
Yeah.
It was just like, pay the $1.60 you owe, and then next month you'll pay more.
Oh, cool.
And so Forbidden West came with that, and which is crazy because that's how I played Zero Dawn was
it's
PS Plus.
It's one of the games on the extra list because there's a whole list of games on PS Plus Extra. So for all intents and purposes, you have basically Sony's version of Game Pass now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sweet. I'm liking it so far. And Forbidden West is really good. The one thing that like I just kept ringing in my ear, I was picking up twigs for arrows, and I was like, wow, this is really annoying. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Shelly said that this was really annoying.
Yeah.
You'll be running, and then you'll go and you have to like stop and pick every tree, and it has an animation to it. And I'm sure that they just like looked at that and were like, it's quick enough animation, no one will be bothered by that. But everyone's bothered by it.
No, you just stop.
Terrible.
The fact that you have to stop, if you could just get it while you're running, it'd be so much nicer. Which I think you could do in I want to say like Ghost of Tsushima or something. There's some other like game where it's seamless, and like even if you're riding on a horse or whatever, you can just pick up stuff and it's like seamless and it's like really nice. But I do remember that. It's been a while since I played Forbidden West, but yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom too. You can just pick stuff up.
Right, that's true.
You just run past it. I still don't know if I like the climbing or not. This game does a weird thing where it wants to gamify a lot of stuff, which is fine. But then it like decides that it wants to be logic based in how it does things, and it almost feels like it needs to choose. So the climbing took me a minute to figure out in the first place, but like you have usually, God of War, it tells you where to climb. Think of these white ledges. You climb those white ledges, you're good. In Tears of the Kingdom, you can just climb everything. This kind of tried to mix both in a way. You can't climb everything, but they don't really show you where to climb. You just have to choose. And if you use your focus, I learned, then it kind of gives you a grid of like where you're supposed to be.
It's true, but sometimes it's hard to find, and sometimes, I don't know if you've run into this yet, but, and this honestly, I think this happened in both Horizon games for me. Sometimes I would, like, be trying to go to the next thing, and I swear I'm going the right direction, or I'm, like, hitting the joystick correctly and everything, and then it just is like,
fall off.
Nope, yeah, you just fall, or you just yeet somewhere else entirely, and I'm like, that is not what I was trying to do. What else was I supposed to do? Oh, I was supposed to get directly under it, and then go up instead of diagonal, like, something like that. I'm like, that's stupid. One
of the big things with this logic concept that really bothered me was you get a grappling hook, and I love grappling hooks in games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every game should have a grappling hook. Super Mario Bros. Grappling hook.
Yeah.
But it's so you use it more to pull things down than you use it to grapple to things. You can use it to grapple to very specific things. And so there was a situation I was in. It was this puzzle of a old ruin, and I grappled this thing to pull it down. So it was horizontal, it was a beam, and now it's vertical, so that I can climb to it. But I couldn't grapple myself to the beam that I just pulled down, even though I clearly was able to grapple onto it. And it was specifically because they wanted me to do something else, and so they just kind of we're not going to worry about logic. You need to do the game thing. And I was like, that doesn't make... you showed me a mechanic that says that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a few little things that are kind of icky. And then I'm not sure if I'm not sure yet how I feel about how political the story... There's not political commentary, that's not what I mean, but just they're trying to be really smart with the storytelling, and the politics are almost a bit too confusing for me.
I think
there's so much going on.
I think by the time I stopped playing, and again, it wasn't because it was a bad game per se, but I was not invested in what was going on because I didn't understand what was going on. I was just running around. The first game, it seemed pretty obvious, at least the beginning. Obviously, the goals in the beginning were different than the goals by the end of the game, but the goals in the beginning were super duper straightforward. We want to go to the tribe even though we're outcast, and we want to do this thing, and it's going to be kind of a big deal because we've been an outcast our whole life. But this time I'm like, what is even going on right now? Why are we here?
Yeah, they're introducing these different groups of people, and they're infighting, and then there's fighting between the outside world. The infighting's what's getting me. They're using words and things that I'm just I don't know who this group is. I know who the Karja are.
Yeah.
But then there are in-groups within the Karja, and I'm I don't know who you are or why I should care about what you're doing. So that part's a little, like Shelly said, I get it. I'm just not invested.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I think that's how I was about the first one. It's not a bad game, but I just wasn't invested in anything that was going on. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to take down the dinos and do all this stuff. I didn't really care.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too, so far, and I'm sure that'll change. I hope it changes. One of my favorite things about Horizon Zero Dawn is you are running past, and it is a little bit into the game, but you're just, you're running past a Thunderjaw, and if you get near it, it just destroys you. There's no way you're going against that thing. And so I, for a good, 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, that was on my mind. It was one of these days I'm going to go after that Thunderjaw, and I'm going to get it. And I have not seen anything yet that's been that's the hunt. And that was really crucial to that first part of the game. That was what made it exciting for me, was getting to hunt these creatures in really strategic ways. As of right now, I haven't been super strategic. It's really hard to hit the bristlebacks where you're supposed to. And so I'm all right, well, we'll just kind of cheese it, make it work.
Yeah, I remember being really impatient, more so than in the first game. Not just with, the hunting and, big things, but also with, I don't know if you've done any of the side quests yet. I remember there are already so many, but a lot of them are, taking down these little hideouts. I remember I was starting to get really impatient with those because you need to, obviously, sneak your way, and, I don't know, I mean, in that way, it's kind of a classic, sneak and take guys out as you can, and only go hard, go hard at the very end. Whenever you feel like you can, like there's enough guys, or lack of guys, I guess I should say. But
Yeah.
some of those like I just remember it would take a really long time to finally see like the patterns everyone was walking in, find the patch of grass we're supposed to be in, or like around the corner we're supposed to be in, and kind of like making it work. But I was getting impatient. I was like, this is taking forever for me to try to figure out how to like sneak my way into making this work. And like sometimes there's extra things to do where it's like, oh, they have some of these like machines locked up and you can release them and cause havoc. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but how the heck am I even supposed to get down there without getting seen? And I do need to play the game again. It is fun, obviously, but I just remember things like that.
I've been there as well. Like, Aloy will be like, I just need to get one of those things to ride, the chargers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that seems like a good idea, but there's 5 chargers down there, and then there's, like, other things guarding those chargers. And I'm like, okay, I'll just walk.
Yeah, it's just, like, it's really, like, you get really punished if you don't stealth well enough, or don't strategize at all, right? Like, and even if you're playing on normal, obviously it's even worse if you're on higher difficulty, but even on normal, it's like, the game means, like, it's a hard game, you have to strategize, which I'm like, hey, I respect that, but I just do get lazy sometimes, and sometimes I do get impatient, so that's just part of the game.
And that's it. Like, I would say, like, if there were more options to be sneaky, then I probably would like that a little bit more. If there were things that I could set up to, because like I said, that was my big thing with the first one, was setting up bombs and traps, and then just kind of letting like domino effect to Thunderjaw and have it walk into these tripwires, land on these bombs, and like. So if there's smoke bombs, but there's really not. Like if I could climb trees,
there's a way to turn invisible,
really easy.
But it like is a super ability.
That could be cool.
So it's kind of like you can use it once and that's it.
Have like a temporary of that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing into trees would be a neat part.
That'd be cool. I like that. And then almost like a Spider-Man approach of like coming from above.
Yeah, that would have added.
There is a move. Yeah. There is like a jump attack move from like above. Like you might have to unlock it, but yeah, I think that would have been a really cool concept of like, oh, we're hiding in trees instead of just like always in grass. I'm like, I'm tired of it always being grass.
The same
like,
grass.
Every game, it's not just Horizon, it's every game. It's
Assassin's Creed tall grass.
Yeah, it's like the same grass in this game too, everywhere. Yeah, I don't hate the game.
No, it's a good game.
Yeah, I'm not invested in the story yet, and I just want to hunt big giant creatures.
You just want to hunt
yet, so we'll see if that changes. For people story wise to know kind of where I'm at. I haven't started yet, but I'm at the embassy. So I've played quite a ways into it. I mean, not a whole lot.
I was gonna say I don't even remember how far I got. I also just remember just wanting to explore, wanting to hunt or whatever. But I just kept getting stuck by side quests, and I'm the type of person where I'm like, oh, I should do the side quests. I know I don't have to. I'm like not necessarily a completionist, but I would just get stuck so many times with these icons on my map. I'm like, dang it, like another hideout. Like, can I just vibe for a second? Like, can I not take out a hideout for
really
1 second?
Bad.
Yeah.
I had this. So there's a thing that you can do, and it like basically gives you an image of the old world.
Yeah.
Focus.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure that all out. Terrible at it for whatever reason. I could not figure it out.
Because it's different than the last one. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I died, and then it was completed. And I was like, I never got to do the thing.
What? That is
I was
so weird.
Frustrated with that. Yeah. That's the biggest glitch that I've seen so far. That was garbage. I was like, I wanted to see the image and it like do everything it was supposed to do. But I'm sure there are big creatures soon, and that'll be fun. Just waiting on it. Also, where did all of her stuff go? I know it's a new game, so they give you everything.
Yeah.
But usually they try to explain that. Like
she has some of it. She just doesn't have others. And you have to like relearn abilities, and that's not really explained. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The Tripcaster was the weirdest thing for me. I was like, I use my Tripcaster a lot. Why don't I have like I had the best one in the game last game. Why am I getting this brand new one that has nothing no cool abilities? Kind of weird. But game looks beautiful as well. It does look gorgeous. Oh, and the facial. This first game that I've seen so much facial emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can like really see what their like faces are doing. It's kind of weird because they still have this like doll likeness to them, but they have this like facial. But it's really kind of cool. That I thought was super super neat. Is Aloy would kind of do that in the first one. She would kind of look away, but it was like the same animation every time. And in this, like, you can read her face so much, what she's thinking, like, while people are talking. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep playing. I loved the first one, so I'm pretty invested in wanting to play this. But we have Starfield, right, coming out soon?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Phantom Liberty. So, we'll see.
I was going to say, if you got PC Game Pass still, you better make sure your PC can run that thing.
I know, it's going to be on the lowest settings possible. I don't know if this old boy can keep up.
I'm not even gonna try.
We'll
I mean, I'm not really trying to get Starfield anyway, but I'm not even gonna try getting it on my PC, even if I wanted it.
I've got a few friends that they swear that it'll play it, and I'm like, I don't know if you know what my computer is. We'll see. That'd be nice. Yeah, we talked a lot about games. What's going on in the news, LJ?
Yeah. So Gamescom had their event, and there was like 5 days. It's almost like an E3, but in Germany. And so they've had about 5 days of it. The things I'm going to go over is going to be for opening night live, which is like the daytime for us. But so there's some highlights here. Most of it, a lot of it is stuff we already kind of haven't seen. We've already kind of seen before. Like there is some Starfield stuff, some Modern Warfare 3, stuff. Alan Wake 2 stuff, and then Mortal Kombat 1 stuff. Like there's a bunch of stuff that's like coming out pretty soon that I'm like, okay, we don't really need to go over some of this too much. But I'm excited that the thing I see most, like one of the newer items I see on this list is that Tekken 8 finally got a release date, which I'm super stoked for.
Yeah.
Where fighting game fans are eating good this year, probably just as much as like RPG and JRPG fans.
I was gonna say, like, there's so many good games out this year, but it's also crazy how it's like multiple fighting games, multiple RPGs, like specifically. It's cool. It's really cool.
So, and this one's not even technically this year, but it's so close enough where it's like I very well could have been. So this is coming out January, late January. The 26th. I thought it was the 24th. But it's the 26th. I'm on board for this. I'm playing Mortal Kombat 1. Been playing Street Fighter. So it's like, and Tekken's my main, probably my main game. I played so much of 7. Got into the, competitive scene for 7 a little bit.
Yeah.
And playing that closed test for Tekken. I probably talked about it on here, but it was so good and such an advancement that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited for this game. So it's gonna be super good. It's gonna be around for quite a while. Tekken 7 was around for a very long time, and so 8 will be as well. One that kind of an update on Cyberpunk happened, and it's not just Phantom Liberty stuff. It's a literal 2.0 update. They're calling it.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, Phantom Liberty has new story stuff, new quests, and, all that. But it looks like the 2.0 update is kind of giving us some things they promised with the original release. So, a few highlights are vehicle combat and mounted weaponry, which I think we saw in, like, one of the trailers or gameplay reveals, like, before Cyberpunk even came out. Revamped police system, so they're going to have a GTA-style police system now. Which I think before, like, they would just respawn or whatever, and you just have to fight them, or something. Combat AI overhaul, so the AI is getting an improvement. More events and missions. Redesigned cyberware and perks. All new relic, skill tree, and abilities. Increased level cap. 100 plus new items, weapons, cyberware, and fashion. So this is a 2.0 update. Also, so you don't have to have Phantom Liberty or buy Phantom Liberty to experience most of these updates. And they say this is it. This is the big update. After this, I saw a headline that said, the 2.0 update and Phantom Liberty are kind of the last things before they start work on a sequel. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay,
what?
whatever.
Sure.
Keep polishing the thing you got before you think about a sequel.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they have, for the record, like it took a while, but Cyberpunk it's there. I still don't know how it runs on like original gen hardware. But
I really enjoyed it on the PS5.
Yeah, and it is really like it's got they've had plenty of updates to where like even on my Series
People
S,
had faces.
Yeah, my Series S
They didn't have
version
face
is totally fine. It runs great. They have made improvements. And it's a really good game now. So this is hopefully only just going to make it better and clean up some more things. So yeah. So I'm excited for it. I haven't beat the game yet to play Phantom Liberty, but I will eventually beat it. It's a good game. I got back into it a while back when they had another update, and so yeah, looks that new update's looking good.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Another highlight here is Little Nightmares 3 got announced, which is a series I played on stream. I exclusively played Little Nightmares 1 and 2 on stream.
I remember
Geeks Under
that.
Grace.
Yeah.
And the first one was so good. So many people enjoyed it. I played the second one when that dropped. Little Nightmares 3 looks good. I thought the way 2 ended was... I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know if they can even do a 3 now or if they will. But this is a third one. And it looks like with all new characters, it's co-op. Because the first 1 and 2 were tied together. Yeah, but yeah, this is an actively co-op game where you can have 2 players play at once. It's got that creepy vibe that the other ones did, and I love this series. The last one's super massive. The people who did the Dark Pictures games and Until Dawn, they helped out with I think the second game, and so they're going to be back to help with this game too with these original devs. And so, having played the Dark Pictures games and all that, it's like I really low-key like enjoy their work. So I'm happy that they're back helping this original dev and company kind of make this game. So I'm excited for it. And if anybody's looking for another co-op game to play with a friend or a significant other, the other 2 games are great, and I'm sure this one will be as well. So yeah, cool. Solid release. Looking forward to that. Let me scroll through here. Marvel Snap is out of early access on Steam now. I just wanted to point that out because hopefully I played it on Steam and it just felt like a port of the mobile version before, and I'm like, oh, this isn't that great, but I'm gonna go check that out. I'm gonna go check out the Steam release. See if it's better. Let's see what else we got here. I think Crimson Desert is the from the devs of Black Desert, that MMO that we all kind of got into for a good bit.
Then they're gonna do Azure Desert. Then they're gonna do Emerald Desert. Then they're gonna
I assume this is going to be another MMO.
I think so. I believe so, but I could be wrong.
It almost doesn't look like it. Open world action adventure. Let's see.
Oh.
It's probably going to be another MMO. Breaking from its MMO pedigree with Black Desert and Pearl Abyss has confirmed it. Oh, Crimson Desert is a single player game.
Oh.
PC, according to PC
Actually,
Gamer.
That I'm more interested now.
And it's got such a Viking. It's got like a low-key Viking vibe too. Like
what is this called?
Crimson Desert.
Cody hears Viking. He's like, wait a second.
Yes, and he's like,
literally
wait,
was like, what now? Who?
How to get Cody's attention? Mention Viking. He'll come running.
Shoes? What?
I guess Witcher. Little Witcher-esque, a little Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, I need to watch that trailer again at some point because there was the initial reveal trailer almost made it look like Viking-ish. But I guess
I'm sold.
I had to look because I'm like, wait, this has to be an MMO. Because, but yeah, no, I guess it's not going to be. That's good to know because I'm more excited for it now as well.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think a few of us are excited for. I'm excited because I played with some friends, and I know there's it's kind of funny how our community latched on to a few of us in the community latched on to Killing Floor 2 because it had some Demon Hunter music, and it's kind of sad because like Killing Floor 3 I'm sure is going to be awesome. I enjoyed Killing Floor 2 a lot. But the original like lead from Tripwire, he's no longer with that company because of some political controversy where a dude straight up got canceled for something he posted on Twitter.
Oh gosh.
It was actually about the whole. I think it was the whole abortion topic.
The creator did, or someone else?
The creator, or the like not creator, but the lead at Tripwire.
Right.
And we have an interview with him on the site, like that one of our writers did. And,
that's right.
And so like he seemed like a cool dude, but a lot of us noticed like, oh, there's Christian metal music on here. Like what? I'm like okay. And you would have never known that.
Legitimately good at that game for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I remember you
competitive.
You were playing by yourself and getting way up there in like waves and stuff. Like
I did 2 years in a row, and then the third year I lost it, and I was like, I'm not doing it again because it takes a good hour to play by yourself.
I watched you late one night do that on stream too during one of our events.
I played the hardest difficulty, and I played by myself and destroyed.
Yeah,
it's actually easier by yourself. Not to get too much into it. For those who don't know what it is, it's a zombie wave game. It's basically Call of Duty Zombies. But you have a team, and the team has there's different classes.
But better.
Yeah.
Than Call of Duty
better.
Zombies.
Everyone's got jobs.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
If you have a team that knows what they're doing, it will work really well with the team. But if they don't know what they're doing, it can get very hectic. You all have to move together. Yep. And so if you're by yourself, you can actually kind of like herd them.
Playing with randos probably is not the best, but when you have a good squad...
It's difficult because they herd. I mean, the zombies go after the loudest, basically. And so if you have someone straying off to another side, they can kind of come back around and corner you.
Yep.
But if you can get all of them... If you're by yourself, they all come after you. So you can herd them into corridors and stuff and just let loose. And I did the assault... I don't remember what his class was called, but use assault rifles. And it was literally for mowing down. It wasn't good for the larger creatures, but it was good for mowing down all the other.
And there's different bosses too. Like all the bosses were really cool. It was a fun game.
I'm not good at first-person shooters. Don't get the wrong idea. But I was good at that.
I am low-key like wanting to play Killing Floor 2 again, just because like that was
might plug it back in. That sounds fun. I've played Killing Floor since I got a PS5.
Yeah, I think that was a... Yeah, I wonder how... I mean, it's a PS4 game, but... I haven't played in a while. There's no...
It was very dead the last time I tried playing.
Yeah. I mean, I never would play it with randos, but... there's no release date for it yet. So... I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then, so they're... Man, I hope they put some Demon Hunter or something in it still. I'm gonna say I highly doubt there will be. Just because it seems
they'll probably go run the other way. They'll probably specifically because of that. They want to probably distance themselves.
Yep. And...
Weirdest Christian game I've ever played.
That's funny. More Payday 3 stuff, which I'm excited for it. Another great co-op game that I played the heck out of.
I'm excited to watch. Excuse me. I'm excited to watch people play that because I watched a lot of people play like Payday 2, and it's just fun. It's not really a game for me to play, but it just looks fun to watch.
I put so many hours. Like that game is the reason I'm a John Wick fan because they had the John Wick content, and so I played as him.
Yes, sir.
And like I was like, oh, I need to watch this movie because I never watched it, and then ever since then, like I thank Payday for that. A lot of stuff here that we've already kind of I think is mostly irrelevant. I mean, I have a link in the show notes here to Opening Night Live. There's some other things they showed further on in the days after. There's an indie game company working on a Hellboy game, which I'm like, yes, that's coming out in October.
Oh, that's cool.
And so yes, and it looks straight out of the comic book. But yeah, I would encourage people to go look at Gamescom stuff. There really isn't anything like mind-blowing, I would say. And I think Jeff Keighley tempered expectations on that. And then they did announce the night that the Game Awards is happening. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we will be streaming that on our channel when it does happen. So the Game Awards are usually on a Thursday night. Anna usually runs those, or I have in the past if she couldn't. Either way, somebody's going to be running it, and we're going to be chatting it up in Discord and stuff. So
it was chaos last time.
It's always chaos.
It was great.
Yes, but that's it for gaming news.
Cool.
Yep.
We'll get into movies then. I have not seen any movies.
Not me either.
Shelly has not seen any movies. I really haven't seen a movie.
I watched 20 minutes. I watched 20 minutes of The Flash.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's worth anything.
No, I totally saw a movie.
What?
And it's not as forgettable as it sounds right now.
What are you doing?
I watched Blue Beetle.
Oh, wait. I thought we talked about Blue Beetle.
I thought you talked about that last week.
Did we watch it last week?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we talked about that last week.
Foolish.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, no.
Got it.
We definitely talked about Blue Beetle.
That's why I was forgetting.
I mean, we could talk about it some more. No, just kidding.
Yeah, let's watch it. Do it again. No.
Run it back.
Flash is on HBO Max.
Yes.
Go ahead, LJ.
I don't... What I watched is not bad, I would say. It just feels like it's in a weird place because we didn't actually get this universe that Zack Snyder was building. The movie operates on this takes place after Justice League and all that. So it's almost kind of makes me sad that if Zack Snyder would have stayed on, I know, sure, he felt he had to leave, which is great because family, to grieve, that's awesome. But if people like Joss Whedon and Warner Brothers didn't ruin what the Justice League was or change it up at all, I think we could have had this universe still be okay. The first Aquaman wasn't great. Yeah. It was okay. Shazam was fun and fine. The first Wonder Woman was a good movie too. It just operates on this idea that this universe has still existed, and I'm like, okay, that would have been cool if we actually got all that. So it just kind of makes me sad for everything that happened with DC movies. The first initial scene when you see Flash doing stuff, being a hero, is slightly awkward. If you watch the movie, you'll know why. I did see. I guess it's not a spoiler to say that Ben Affleck is in it for a few minutes. It made me happy to see him play Batman again for the short time he does, because I'm like, we could have still had that too. We still could have had so much of this, and it got messed up. It's all a mess. So it just makes me sad because it could have been really something. It could have been something really awesome. And so, I watched it before bed, and I'll probably watch more of it at some point this week. But yeah, no, it was just kind of a bummer. I'm like, man,
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, and it's off. It's not off to an amazing start, but I'm also I just feel like, oof, if this is the best it gets, and it just goes downhill, then that sucks. I don't want it to go downhill. I want to enjoy this. So, which apparently I won't, according to some people. I have no idea. There are plenty of bad movies I enjoy, and I'm sure I'm already finding things to talk about it positively. But yeah, I haven't seen enough of the movie to say about the whole thing, so I will definitely report back next week on that. So
sweet. Well, it's funny that you mentioned Zack Snyder because for movies we're going to be talking about Zack Snyder, and again, just exciting things with Zack Snyder. It's kind of funny how, I think, all the DC stuff kind of gave Zack Snyder a bit of a bad name. Just to put a bad taste in people's mouths. But Rebel Moon looks really cool. I just hope it actually makes sense and is actually good. But the trailer looks really good, and it's going to be a 2-parter, which is crazy. And we have talked about Rebel Moon on the show before, how originally it was a Star Wars project, an official Star Wars movie, but then just creative differences, excuse me, things like that, made it so they're like, oh, well, you can't have it be a Star Wars movie anymore. But he's like, you know what, I'm going to make this movie anyway. I'm going to make it my way. And I think that's actually
changing nothing.
Yeah, there's still straight up lightsabers. I don't know, maybe they'll make a different noise or something. which would be kind of funny. But
I hope it's the exact same noise.
That'd be so good. It just looks like, again, all this really intense world building that, honestly, like, you could say it's just a ripoff of Star Wars, and, like, kind of it is, but you really can just be like, hey, there's this universe, and there's, like, humans, and there's, like, aliens, and there's weird creatures and cultures, and
I'm glad they tried to make it Star Wars first, because that does justify it being a Star Wars ripoff. If you had just made this and was like,
yeah, that's true,
it would have been a little off. But now we're like, well, it was supposed to be, so it's okay.
But I
think
think
your homework and just change it up a little bit.
Totally, I think it's going to be in the end for its benefit too, because I don't know. I haven't started watching Ahsoka yet, but I just have. Watching a lot of these last Star Wars projects, at least the shows. And again, I never even finished Mandalorian Season 3, but it's just like so much seems to be relying on previously established canon characters from other shows, from other things, and that's what gets people excited. Like, oh my gosh, Scrimblow Bimblow's back! You know, that one guy. And to the point where I've heard Ahsoka isn't even all that. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit later, because I know you guys watched it, but it's apparently, like, not even super duper easy to follow at all if you haven't watched, like, essentially 2 shows. Like, not just Rebels, but there's also Clone Wars. Like, Ahsoka was in a lot of different... She's been in a lot of shows at this point.
That's a really good point.
So, I think this pair of movies...
You would need Mandalorian and Boba Fett as well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Exactly, yeah. Ooh. So, they just rely so much on... I don't even know if it's necessarily nostalgia. It is partially nostalgia, but just like previously created characters and things like that. Filoni especially. Like, I remember those couple of episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2 that Filoni directed, and you're just like, oh, cool, this is no longer The Mandalorian. This is just like I don't know, like Clone Wars, kind of, but live action a little bit. So I think that's actually going to be to this benefit, because that means that he actually needs to... One, has room to actually make the story really good, and 2, kind of has to. It's like one of those things where, you know, something like Obi-Wan, for example. I mean, I personally liked Obi-Wan, but I know a lot of people didn't like it. But I think, you know, seeing Ian McGregor, seeing Hayden Christensen again as, like, those really awesome characters was a bit of a cushion. Like, I do understand from my perspective, had they not been in it, then it really probably would have been a pretty bad show in my eyes. Like, I do recognize that's a reason I liked it. It's just because I'm a big fan of Ewan McGregor. But all that being said, Rebel Moon does not have that crutch, and I think it's going to make it stronger in the end. At least hopefully, because I like Star Wars. For its benefit.
What? But it's a loss for Star Wars, I think.
Yes.
Like, Star Wars really needed this.
I agree. I fully agree. It's... Again, I know we always talk about, like, Rogue One, but, like, Rogue One really did do that job of, like, well, we're not going to focus on Jedi for once, and we're going to have Andor. Pretty much an entire... Yeah, and Andor following from that. Like, we're going to have, like, an entirely new cast. And, like, guess what? Those are the projects that a lot of us, like a lot, or really love, like, really... like, as adults too, not just as like, oh, this is something from my childhood watching Clone Wars growing up. Not to say Clone Wars is a bad show. I think Clone Wars is apparently a really, really good show. But all I'm saying is that it's disconnected from that nostalgia. It has its own established characters and original characters, kind of what I meant to say. So I think Rebel Moon will hopefully really benefit from that, is that you do not need to have seen... You don't have to have seen any Star Wars before watching this movie. At all. Like, you could just go into it, and it's going to be...
If you live under a rock, you can just straight up watch Rebel Moon and not have to...
And it might be a benefit to you to have not seen Star Wars to watch this.
Exactly, and I think that's all of a sudden a benefit. Like, I think the MCU effect... Like, MCU was obviously, like, such an ambitious project that worked out really well in the end. And by end, I mean Endgame and not anymore. But it really is just too much to ask people to do that now. Like, there's just simply, like, that was, MCU worked because it was the only thing that was doing it, and now that, you know, they got the DCU, or at least you had, and, like, all these other shows and Star Wars, like, now it's all just so much that you just can't consume all this media. You just can't do it. And so I think we need to I think the value of original projects is going up. At least I hope it is. I hope this is something that's actually good, and the visuals and everything looks super cool from the trailer, but we also don't get much story. We don't really get to figure out what's going on. It all just looks cool, but does it just look cool, or is it good? I hope it's good.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I really hope it's
good. It looks like everything that someone would want Star Wars to be.
Exactly.
Star Wars hasn't.
We'll
talk about this a little bit more with Ahsoka, but everyone has said that like Star Wars' problem is the Jedi, and it's great when it's not the Jedi, but I think seeing this trailer and watching Ahsoka, and we'll get into that, really reinforces to me that it's not the magic stuff that makes Star Wars bad, it's just the tone that they've decided that they have to stick everything with. And so when you change tone, like Andor, very different tonally than everything else in Star Wars, and this
totally
very tonally different than anything we see in Star Wars. That brings an excitement back into that world.
No, I think you're totally right.
That world. Into those concepts, I should say.
For sure. And also the visuals look really good, and I hope that they are respecting their VFX artists, and because this isn't a Disney project, I think they are. Speaking of Disney VFXs, their visual effects is unionizing at Disney. It's officially happening, which is super predicted, I think. I think this is obvious that this was going to happen, because even the last several years of movies we've seen from Disney, the visual effects of these freaking live action movies that are basically not live action are... The production, like, quality has gone down, but the expectation seems to have been... Like, there's more and more visual effects that they're relying on, and, like, I just think of the freaking Lion King movie. Remember the Lion King?
Oh, yeah.
Quote-unquote live action? Like, that was literally just all visual effects. Like, it's crazy to me. And then, of course, even all the way up to now, The Little Mermaid. So the entire team that's been working on, like, all these different movies... Yeah, they're unionizing, and again, for pretty, I think, obvious reasons, obvious and good reasons to unionize, you know, long hours, not a good work-life balance, not getting paid enough, really tight deadlines, and if you look at that, you're like, yep, this all checks out for Disney. This is absolutely unsurprising at all. So, and I think, you know, it really comes alongside the Hollywood strikes in general. It's just a moment in time where all these actors and all these folks who work on movies who aren't the super duper higher ups are finally trying to stand up and say like, hey, like we need to be respected. Okay. And I think this is going to be to their benefit. At least I hope so. I hope it all goes well for them. Obviously unionizing is a really big decision, but I really hope it goes well for them because again, not only is this going to help them, it's going to help us as consumers. We've seen really bad CGI and really bad visual effects in a lot of these. I can't stop thinking about the latest Thor movie and that kid's head floating there looks so bad. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't blame any visual artists for this. I blame the higher ups who are saying, you need to make this happen in 10 days or, you know, I don't know actual time frames for these things. But, you know, it's like obviously not getting paid enough, obviously having to work too hard, all of these things. And it's so like soulless too, like all of this visual art. I hope they'd be working on something that they actually care about, but I just don't think that's happening at Disney. So all the best luck to them. I hope it goes well. They do deserve to be able to do the job that they like and get paid well and have work-life balance and work on things they actually want to work on. Just be respected in general. So yeah, I think this is a little bit of a 1-2 punch where it's like we got Rebel Moon who's looking better, that's looking better than more recent Star Wars projects have been for a while. And then you also have their visual effects team trying to unionize. So I think Disney, especially with all these flops they've had this year, generally speaking, a lot of their movies have just not performed the way that they needed them to. Mm-hmm. I'm just so curious to see how Disney's going to react to all this. I mean, we already know they're cutting projects, and we're even going to talk about that in a little bit, but like, what else are they going to do? Are they going to creatively change anything, or are they just going to start cutting projects? I don't know. I'm curious to see, but that's our movie news.
Well, they might cut some projects.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll get into TV then, and I'll just go straight to Ahsoka. So we're talking about Star Wars.
Talk about it.
I would suggest, if you have the time to watch Rebels, and are like wanting to be that invested in the Star Wars universe, then do so. I watched a 15-minute kind of like everything you need to know before watching Ahsoka, and it brought me through Clone Wars and Rebels, and I didn't even think about Mandalorian. Boba Fett too. Didn't even consider that was part of that catch-up thing. And I was still confused. I still don't know who any of these people are. And it's not like I know who they are. They want me to care about these characters. And I was like, oh, I mean, I guess. Which is sad because it's doing, like, it's a really good show. It looks amazing. It looks like a movie. Ahsoka, I'm trying to think of her name right now. The actress for Ahsoka.
Rosario Dawson?
Really... Huh?
Rosario Dawson?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. She's playing a very stoic Ahsoka pretty well, although I've been told that's kind of odd that she's stoic because she hasn't been stoic in past things. But she's kind of the like mom of the group, and everyone else is just kind of running around being crazy, and she's kind of like reining everyone in.
Yeah.
My biggest confusion was I've always thought that Ahsoka like had left the Jedi Order, and like what I've gathered, that's been the whole story, was that she left the Jedi Order and she was this great Jedi thing. But the first 2 episodes, they're talking about her like as though she is a Jedi now, and I don't know if she came back. They didn't explain any of that, so I'm just like being told that she's a Jedi and kind of having to deal with it.
She did come back in Rebels for a time, but like not even in what I've seen in Rebels. I mean, I'm only missing a few episodes now, maybe like 6 or 7 episodes before the end. But even then, she was just like, "Oh no, I'm not like like she never."
Not like a Jedi.
Yeah,
she just does Jedi stuff. And so that's been kind of weird. Like I don't totally understand all of that. But the quality, like the writing, is really interesting. Not to give too much away, but there's a super literal, not even like a kind of maybe, super literal ripoff of Treasure Planet.
Oh, no way.
But it's Disney, so I'm fine with it. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm just going to put Treasure Planet in the same universe and be fine and be happy.
Wow.
It's so funny. But, yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I think if it continues to be this good, as confused as I am, I do think, like I was saying earlier, that Star Wars' problem isn't it's Jedi, and it's not like the fantasy side of things. I think the fantasy stuff can be really good in the Star Wars universe and should be explored. I still want Andor by all means. Like, give me both. But it's not the problem. I think we just thought that because the movies were so bad, and then we looked at Rogue One and Andor, and we were like, see, this is what we mean, and Mandalorian. But I think those shows were just done well. And then it's a tonal issue. It's when they decide to have this. Star Wars has a very specific tone they want to do, especially with Jedi involved, and it's usually kind of just meh. But Ahsoka feels like a good show, at least to me, so far. I don't know how other people feel about it. LG, you haven't seen anything? You're waiting on Rebels, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting to finish that. It's just been a long week, and I've been going to bed a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
I haven't
for the
really had a
best.
chance to binge it. Yeah.
That would be my biggest gripe about it. Like, the show is really good, despite the fact that I don't know these characters as well as I would like to.
And that's what
I think it would have been really cool.
Like the Mandalorian, when they started doing like Luke Skywalker cameos and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I guess it's spoiler-ish for the first season that's been out for a while, but when they started trying to make these heavy connections, I'm like, that's kind of...
Yeah.
One thing I think would have been really cool with Obi-Wan, too, because they've canonized these shows, right? I mean, that's the whole point of this, is that Rebels is canonized. They never do... They kind of do, like, on Obi-Wan, they had a last time, but it was the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On Obi-Wan, I kind of had wished that they would have, like, bring some of the animated stuff in, so that you would have really been in the loop. And I would have been down with that on this as well, if they would have been, like... a 2-minute recap of these characters where we left them last, so that I would kind of know what's going on. Like, it would spoil Rebels, but you're making a sequel to Rebels, so why not spoil Rebels?
Yeah.
It would have been cool to have a previously that was really just about all the animated stuff. so that I knew what they wanted me to care about. Because that too.
From what I've heard, there's stuff that really doesn't get established that they're already like leaning into, that like doesn't really take place till the end of like the final season of Rebels, also, which I find extremely good.
Huh.
But I don't know yet. I haven't seen those things yet. I'm getting close though.
That's the oddest weakness it has, for me at least. But I would say it's worth the watch if you're watching all the other Star Wars stuff. It's leagues better than Book of Boba Fett. So
Good.
And that's another argument for the Jedi thing. Boba Fett didn't have any Jedis. It was still terrible. Tonal issues. Give us these, like, I mean, we're all... You can have the kids stuff still. I mean, they made the little kid thing.
Yeah.
Star Wars, whatever, the little Padawans. I don't remember what it's called.
Young Jedi Adventures, I think.
It's like, it's okay to give us some, like, adult Star Wars content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andor, I mean, that's what Andor is, and I think this has got kind of a more mature feel to it as well. So, pretty cool. That's all that I watched, though. LJ, what did you watch?
Yeah, the thing I did watch more of, which I'm glad I am, because it's turned out to be... So I finished the first season of Righteous Gemstones, which I was hesitant to talk about last week. And I'm surprised the end of the first season kind of shows some humanity, I guess. In a way that's like, the show isn't just... To me, now the show is not there just for shock value or to be egregious.
Yeah.
These characters are dealing with the repercussions of the things that happened in the first season, and they're going, "Oh crap! Like, maybe I am a terrible person. Maybe this is wrong." And it's all. I mean, it could be. Season 2, it's going to go right back into the same shenanigans, I'm sure. But it's just them having to deal with the repercussions of their actions. And like, there's a particular situation with one character where he's like, maybe this is all happening because I deserve it. Maybe this is all happening because I deserve it, because I'm a terrible human being. Like, this is God's punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And then so another character's like, well, like, why? And then he's like, so you'd have it worse, couldn't you have it worse? And he's like, oh, it could be so much worse. It's like all that stuff in the Old Testament and all this stuff where, he's like, I could get it much worse. But he's like, no, this is how I have to atone for it. This is like, and all these things. And so it has to deal with the idea of like, not that these characters are straight up repenting, but they're realizing, oh, I messed up. And
cool.
I was like, huh, okay, all right. Like, so it's like, not that the ending was necessarily positive, because there's some stuff that goes down, but I'm just like, wow, I did not expect these characters to like really do some self-reflecting, to be like, and the characters do make some, they do attempt to make some changes to fix things that they've done, and I'm just like, okay, all right, I didn't see that coming, but cool, awesome. So that's neat. It shows some character growth, and it also reminds me that like the church leaders are humans too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of my pastor from my church that I used to work at. I still consider him my pastor, but he made this, and it kind of just tied into the show for me, because he made this Facebook post that was very vulnerable, and I'm like, that's amazing. Because you're not going to see any other pastor post something like that. I don't think you are, unless so and it made me connect to that show. Like, oh, these are church leaders too, and they're church leaders are humans too.
Yes,
we just don't get to see that. We just don't get to see that very often. Like, you don't get to see them and how they live their lives. And it could be very exaggerated, like this show here, or they could be kind of terrible at doing what they do and being terrible human beings.
Definitely.
But it was nice to see some kind of humanity in them, and some kind of what I hope becomes character growth. Because there's some things that happen where this dude's like, oh, I need to fix it. Like one of the pastors, he's like, I need to fix this because this isn't right. Like I messed up. And so I was like, wow. So it kind of made me happy to really, like, because last week I talked about this show, and I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't watch this. I still don't recommend it. There's just a certain group of people I don't recommend it to. But it just made me happy that, like, oh, this show isn't just poking fun to poke fun. It seems like it actually has... I'm hoping it has genuine character growth. And so I hope I get to see more of that through future seasons, because... Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Like, I didn't expect this to hit me in the feels, like, as much as it did. So, it was good. Like, it was a good season finale, so... I think it only has 3 seasons right now. But I hear the next seasons are even better than the first. So, and Walton Goggins is also in that. We're going to be talking about him in a minute. Dude is a really good actor. I think he's becoming one of my favorite actors easily. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Shelly, what have you been watching?
Well, I watched just one more episode of, or the next episode of My Adventures with Superman. Still a good show.
I need to watch that tonight.
It's crazy how awesome a show looks when you have character development and consistent, and that's consistent for the characters. They remember they had the development and things like that. I just like that. Again, I feel like the bar's really low for that. So, but I guess not, because when I see a show that does it just very simply, but effectively, I'm just like, heck yeah, cool, we like this. Yeah, still a good show. I don't know how long it's gonna go, because I feel like it's has to be either ending soon, season 1, if there's gonna be more seasons, which hopefully there are, or we're at like a halfway point. Just big things are happening right now in the show, so it's like either like a big halfway point or potentially even end of the season. But these are really short episodes, only like 20 minutes, so I almost imagine it's probably just a halfway point, but I don't know. I am not sure, but I'll just keep watching it as long as they're releasing it. And then besides that, I didn't watch any Star Wars shows, but I basically did because I watched Mob Psycho 100 more.
Nice.
And we are now officially past the point that I've read through in the manga, because I've read a lot of the manga, and we're on season 3. So I basically read to almost all the way through season 2 in the anime. And now we're on season 3. This is stuff I haven't seen. Still obviously a really great show. Still probably one of my favorites anime ever, as long as it sticks landing, which I know it's going to. Like, I know it's probably going to end well too. I just love how it does follow the sort of tropes from like classic anime like Dragon Ball Z, where it's just like, oh, the power levels, like, and oh, you're even more powerful, and I'm even more powerful. It kind of does that, kind of subverts it a little bit too. But then you also have the just slice of life stuff going on. I think it's just such a good balance, and like such a wholesome show. Like, I just love wholesome anime, I think is what I've realized. Like, Kaguya-sama Loves War is wholesome, Horimiya is wholesome, the show is wholesome. I just like wholesome shows. Like, it does, if it has action, cool, but as long as it has like really good points of like how to live your life and how to live it well and how to be kind, then I like the show. I guess I think I'm just like I would just like that genre. But still such a good show. And I think they changed some of the voice actors in season 3, which is a little bit of a bummer. I don't really know what happened there, but Mob is definitely like a different voice actor. I think.
Oh, weird.
I think Sheremy Leigh was a character, and I think they replaced her as well. And the voice actors who replaced them, like, they do sound pretty close to what the original voice was. Like, Mob still sounds like he could be Mob. It just sounds like, you know, you can tell it's a different voice actor. So it's a bit of a bummer, but I think for me, as long as Reagan has the same voice actor, which he does, then it's fine, because I think he is definitely the most iconic voice in that entire show. His voice actor is so good in that role. And obviously, those who are watching sub, like, that's not going to matter to you. But I think if there's a really good voice actor for dubs, then it's worth it to watch dubs. And there have been really good voice actors. And they still are. It's just they replace some. That's fine. I also am excited to know that this is a show that does have an ending, because I think a lot of other shows, anime right now, don't have endings yet, right?
I love anime that has endings.
Yeah, and like, again, like Love is War, for example, I'm like, well, I know there's an ending because the manga's over, but the anime's not done yet. Then like Haikyuu,
Yeah.
like, is that show ever coming back? That's another incredibly wholesome show. I just love wholesome shows. I can't help it. But I just like knowing that this is like just 3 seasons and that's it. Like, that's awesome. So Really good show. Definitely watch it. But that's all I've watched. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we will get into TV news then. Going back to Disney Plus.
Yep.
They are canceling. They're canceling a lot of shows. I didn't make a list of any of them. But two of them specifically I think are a little weird. And that is the Spiderwick Chronicles and Nautilus. And the reason I think this is strange is because those shows are done. Like, they finished the first seasons of these and decided they're not going to go forward with them. Enough so that Nautilus is actually looking for a new streaming service to stream on. So that just seems super odd to me. Spider-Man Chronicles, I can kind of understand. That was a weird book series. I remember reading it as a kid. I don't really know too much about
There was
Nautilus.
like a movie apparently too. I mean, with the Spider-Man Chronicles things.
There was a movie. I remember.
Yeah,
a while
was
ago.
it
Like
even
a long
good?
time ago.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't quite remember it though. I could be wrong. I just remember the little brownie guy, and I was like, he's just a little guy. That's all I remember.
Nautilus is based off of
20,000 Leagues
Finding
Under
Nemo.
the Sea.
Go ahead, LJ.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yes.
Which I said that before, and you're kind of like, okay, whatever. I don't know what that is. And then I said Captain Nemo, and then you're like, I know that
Extraordinary
name.
Gentleman. I love that movie.
Yes. Because I was
I'm
like,
uncultured
Nautilus.
swine. It's
Nautilus and that's the name of the ship. You know, like so.
Yeah. He's got a ship, but he's got a really cool car with 6 wheels.
It sounds like this show is going to, I guess, is going to be based off of that old book.
Okay.
Which League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was literary characters turned into like Avengers.
So good.
Before Avengers came
Jekyll
out,
and
by the
Mr.
way.
Hyde are literally the Hulk.
Yep.
It's so great.
Yep.
Sean Connery's in that movie.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
So good. Anyways. But yeah, it's so weird to me that they have these finished shows that they're like, no, it's not going to do well, so we're not going to put them on there. And I'm assuming that is just to protect their numbers. Why put something on and then it do poorly, and they're like, oh, our shows are only getting this many views. Other investors aren't going to want to go in on it. Like, I get all of that, but it kind of worries me because what does that mean, right? Like, that's okay. So we're gonna like go all in on Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
And it's, but you could make other things. We might like other things if you do a good job with
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're playing with money at that point too. It's like they don't want to take a gamble, you know?
Yeah. I keep hearing the rumors that they're going to back off of Marvel and Star Wars as well, and really start dumping money into making quality content.
No signs of that yet.
I would assume that would mean like visual effects artists, what we were talking about earlier, would maybe get some like proper wages and proper time. To get things done. And so, hopefully that's all for the better in general. It's just weird, like, the more that I hear Disney news lately in the last year or so, the more it sounds like early, like, Man of Steel era Warner Bros. And so I'm really curious if it's going to kind of go down that road, because Warner Bros. Has fallen a long way from what it once was. Given, Justice League and Game of Thrones ending the way that it did, and all of those things, it felt like they were trying to do everything at once and just kind of fell flat. So, hopefully, Disney will learn from its mistake and it's not backing up because it doesn't know what to do, and is backing up because it has a plan. Time will tell. And then from Gamescom, LJ, you're really excited about this. There's a tease that we don't even get to see. I don't know. For Fallout, I want to see it. But Goggins is going to be in it.
Yes.
And he's a ghoul. And that makes, like,
that's so perfect
sense. Yeah.
It's an Amazon Prime thing, which we already know. And we have seen set pieces from it.
Yes, I think I saw a still of him as well, right?
I'm not sure if it was just a picture or something from, like, something else he's been in. But I know that there was sets that looked there were set pieces that have been seen that looked exactly straight out of the games, and I'm just like, and it's going to be set in Southern California in Los Angeles, which is not far from New Vegas, which is everybody's favorite.
We've only gotten a promotional image.
Okay,
which is Vault Boy.
Yes, the LA thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. If this turns out to be good, video game stuff has been pretty solid lately. Some these shows. I hope. I mean, yeah. I think it's cool because it's like, that's not far from New Vegas, and everybody loves New Vegas. That game. They literally have
crossover
the new
stuff.
They literally
Vegas.
have the new Republic of California or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm excited.
Good stuff.
So,
Cool. That's all the news that we have going for TV. So we will go from there to anything else you guys are geeking out about. Go ahead, Shelly.
I just want to mention again, I will be going to PAX West this weekend.
oh yeah,
Come say hi.
Yeah, I will be there Saturday and Sunday, so yeah. I'm going with my husband and my friend. So we're going to do the Nintendo Live thing on Saturday. And then Sunday, I don't know. But I was looking today at like some of the different panels, some of the different events they have. Like Games Done Quick will be there, which I like watching them. So I might want to stop by and watch some like live speedrunning, which would be cool. There's also going to be a panel for a lot of the voice actors for Final Fantasy 16. And I think that would be really fun to go to. There's also going to be like a Smash tournament, which I may or may not like actually participate in. I think those times actually overlap with that panel, so maybe not. But there's lots of cool things, and honestly, I'm excited to just buy a bunch of merch I definitely don't need. I would love to see... I don't 100% know if Love Thy Nerd would be there, but if they are, I'm going to track them down and find them and say hi. In fact, I might wear my Love Thy Nerd lanyard, because we still got those from PAX South.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll probably just wear that as my lanyard. But, yeah, I'm really excited.
Very cool.
I think it's going to be super fun. It's been a while since I've gone, so... Yeah.
Cool. What do you get out about, LJ?
Nice. First of all, I got a new kitty last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been great. I named her... So at first I was going to call the cat Ghost just because I didn't know what gender it was right away. And so the other cat I was going to get, we were going to name him Miles. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to stick with the theme and name her Gwen.
Yeah.
And so... it's been great. I mean, owning a cat has been really awesome. She's the most chillest cat, but she also really loves attention and loves to snuggle. Just wherever I am, she's like not far behind. So it's just been really awesome to own a cat. So that's been awesome. And then the other thing I do want to keep promoting is the Book of Astra tabletop RPG that I am a part of, and I am producing for my buddy Spacehawk. We're playing on Sundays on his Twitch channel, which is the Spacehawk, basically. It's super fun. We're teaming up with Comics and the Cross, a bunch of people from there also playing. It is a post-apocalyptic tabletop RPG, so if you're hankering for some Fallout or anything like that, like we just talked about, it is definitely that vibes. High fantasy, kind of, except it's all original races, everything he wrote himself. Eventually he wants to put it out as like a PDF he can like get Kickstarted or backed or something, but we're basically in the early stages of it, prototyping, giving him pointers on anything like that he should include, because it's totally original, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Again, I'm an elemental character who can change every so often, but story stuff is really going awesome. We're not playing this weekend because it's Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after. So we're doing that 8:30 on Sundays on his channel, and it is super fun. Like, if you feel like you need something a little bit different from the classic high fantasy stuff, like this is something different. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's been great. So yeah, y'all got me wanting to play D&D again, and here I am basically playing.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I love it. So that's it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not really something I'm geeking out about, but I went camping. I got pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, nice.
It was a lot of fun. I will not camp in August in Arkansas ever again. But it's very warm. But it was a lot of fun. It was really good. Shelly, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at TheShellshock24.
And LJ?
And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at LJ the Paladin.
You can find me on Instagram at Cody Armor. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter, or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.